Rated T for teen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're getting ready for game number 5. And if you're just joining us, I'm not a magician, Tetcher, and I am joined by the best caster in the Netherlands and Europe. It's Grubby.
Well, I'm not sure about that. My neighbor is actually a pretty good caster as well. I can hear it during the neighbor barbecues, hear his voice orating to his big family. But yeah, here we go with the 5th map of Diamond Skin here versus Polska Pamieta. Polska is up against the ropes and they're going to be picking the final map.
Now, what was the map that we were suggesting to be potentially the next Cho'Gall map there, Grubby?
Battlefield of Eternity?
Really? I hadn't thought of that. But yes, going to Battlefield. Is it the potential return of the Cho'Gall comp that got Polska their 1 win in the series so far? A reminder, this is a best of 7, and as such, Diamond Skin need 1 map to hold their position in HGC Europe, whereas Polska can't afford to lose a single one.
3 consecutive map wins will be the order of the day here for Polska Pamieta, starting with the next one. Now, if they want to sell a Cho'Gall comp, they can't go with Ariel. Like, they can't first pick her, they can't ban a Nubrak or Greymane or make it too obvious. And you can never take Ariel together with Cho'Gall. So either way, there'll be some kind of disconnect. Maybe, like, if they really want Cho'Gall, you know, maybe they don't. Maybe it was just a one-time thing. But if they do, maybe they run it with Lieutenant Morales, go like double pick, Cho'Gall, and then just flex their support.
Maybe Rhaegar or something like that. There's several options. Divine Shield Cho'Gall still works. Like you said, Morales Cho'Gall still is reasonable. So yeah, they've got to really play around this, but there are still several other compositions that work just as well. Let's have a look at the draft now. We're heading in, and it's going to be the Diamond Skin first ban.
Abathur 4 out of 5 times. This is again an Abathur possible map, unlike Tomb of the Spider Queen. So Abathur ban once again. And you know, anytime that Polska Pamieta practiced Abathur in the running up to this series would now have been wasted time. That's kind of the cool thing about deciding on 1 ban when you're going up against a team and sticking to it. You don't have to practice against Abathur at all.
True,
so
exactly.
You
know
your practice,
it's not coming.
Yeah, your practice becomes more efficient, and at the same time, all of your opponent's practice time is wasted on that hero.
Yeah, they didn't ban it once, and that was on the map it just wasn't feasible on.
Yep.
So Diamond Skin really playing a solid draft game, at least so far today.
Of course, it's more predictable, and if Diamond Skin was losing, they would change up the formula. If there was some kind of new power pick by Polska, like let's say Lunara is just dominating them every game, then they would have switched. But they simply do not see a reason to change it up yet.
So far, banning out the ETC, top priority support we've seen today. And Uther, consistent first pick for Diamond Skin whenever it's been available a lot of the time. Even though Tassadar is still currently open, they could have gone for a if they were planning on going Valor. Tassadar Valor is still really strong. There is that Valor, also very highly prioritized. And there's the Tassadar. So once again, we're seeing that high priority here.
Valor with Monster Hunter is one of the primary immortal damage dealers. You can't go full gung-ho on picking single target immortal PvE damage. You also want to have a valid team fight.
Yeah.
This is a team fight map, if anything. Immortal damage is a really good tool to have, but team fights will decide this this map, as it's kind of very small, a lot of 5v5 defense and attacks on Immortals. Vala and Tas will do very well for that. Greymane, another very popular pick. Very high damage output on the Immortal.
Great. I like the Greymane. Like right now, it's flexible and it's open, so I don't see any reason why not. Like back in the days, we'd see Lunara heavily prioritized due to nature's culling. That's sort of fallen out of favor due to the amount of time it takes.
Yeah.
Malthael, on the other hand, for similar reasons, is actually still available and still very popular. So we could see him come out. There's Arthas and an Uberak. So far, we're just seeing a mirror draft of the last 2-3 games that Diamond Skin have played.
Yeah. Arthas and Uberak, Uther was their exact draft in the 4th game just now on Cursed Hollow. And it's very similar to their their game 1 on Dragonshire as well. It was Uther Greymane and then a Uberak Arthas. So they just kind of like how these 2 warriors work together and bring a solid front line, flexing their final 2 picks, either a second support or double damage.
And it's been working well for them so far. Let's see what Polska Pamieta are going to ban out as their second ban. A damage dealer would be good. Who's the biggest issue for them? Potentially, like, who's best in the Immortal? They could have banned the Greymane there. Instead, they ban out the Genji. Now, Genji, very effective on this map. He's got really good poke potential. Okay, Immortal damage, not the best.
Yeah.
But there's also the situation of Genji having a lot of little tricks he can do here. There's a lot of like mini walls on the map, and there's also a lot of there's also a trick that we've been seeing a lot in China, where players will just go mid lane and kill the fountain by leaping over the wall and then just dash out before anyone can react. So a solid ban, and there goes Malthael. We were talking about it just recently as to why it can be exceptionally effective.
So the cool thing for Diamond Skin was they know Polska will only grab one assassin more at maximum, so they were in no rush at grabbing their own, because Polska still needs a main tank and a full support. So there's no risk that they will neither have Gul'dan nor Greymane.
Yeah.
Like, seeing Greymane Gul'dan as picks now for Polska would be insane. Like, assassin chokeout on Diamond Skin, but then you don't have a full warrior or support.
So there's a hero we've actually been kind of ignoring, and it's kind of strange we've been ignoring it considering one of the team names. Li Ming could be picked up here by Diamond Skin for that poke potential to try and counteract the Valor.
Samuro also still a possibility.
Yeah.
Not sure how it fits in against Arthas. No, actually I am sure. Terrible. So I don't think Polska should go Samuro.
Well, the Ariel's come back. Unfortunately, there is no more room for a Cho'Gall, so no potential of that. They need a...
Maybe only Cho.
Think of anything there. Maybe just Cho. Just Gall.
Yeah.
Just have Ariel pick him up and like just throw him around with a crown on his head.
Seems
just a head with a crown. So instead, what are we going to see for their last pick? Plenty of options for hope generators. Like Greymane, Li Ming, Lunar even again is still actually viable, even though not as highly prioritized as it used to be. Whereas Diamond Skin, like we said, damage, second support, they are so open at this point.
Yeah, I think for Diamond Skin they could just go Greymane, Li Ming. You get a lot of single target damage, good poke. They both have a reset with Go for the Throat, as well as Arcane Mass.
I don't know why we didn't expect that to happen.
What? Gul'dan? 5th time in a row? No way.
So Gul'dan, 5 in a row from Diamond Skin there. Chris is very much on a tear with this hero, so not too surprising. So how do you deal with this? What's the last pick from Polska here? More damage, second tank, bit of both with a Bruiser perhaps, a little bit of Sonya, or the Samuro. Like you were saying earlier, he hears and obeys.
Yeah, so Samuro's not a great matchup into Arthas, and he's even not that great into Gul'dan. Like, when speaking about killing mages as Samuro, Li Ming, Chromie, easy peasy as Samuro. But like,
lots of stacks to Gul'dan.
Gul'dan is like, yeah, he gets a lot of stacks. He's a little bit more tanky. He can self-peel if he horrifies all 3 illusions. So Samuro becomes easier to kill. But let's look at the actual rotational game plan for Polska. Johanna, Vala, Ariel, and Tassadar are meaning to stay together. They have good sustain. They weave in and out of combat. They protect each other. And then Samuro, he'll be whacking away on that Immortal. And with Illusion Master, you should be veritably unkillable. Unless you get triple horrified. Indeed, you get horrified by Chris. Samuro should not be dying at all in the early to mid game. And he does a lot of damage on the Immortal.
He really does, and we've seen some really great play with this, with multiple instances of both split pushing and killing the Immortal and team fighting going on from Samuro's with that Illusion Master talent.
Yeah.
So, good chance we are going to be seeing that one. Like, as much as I love the visual of Bladestorm, and I'm sure so do you, it's so rare to see these days, and they're against a lot of heroes who can make that quite difficult due to high mobility.
Yeah, Bladestorm sees a lot of play at the lower to mid levels. It's unstoppable, it's spread damage, and it's a nice finisher. But what it also is it broadcasts and says, "You finally found the real one. It's me. It's me, Mario."
Until you're 20, in which case they don't move as well anyway. So, like, the best play actually as level 20 Samuro of Bladestorm is to just stand still when you activate Bladestorm, so they still can't tell which one's real.
Yeah, or move as erratically as the rest, right?
Exactly.
But the point is, like, at level 10, suddenly everyone will focus you if you Bladestorm.
Exactly. So, for now, ladies and gentlemen, let's find out who is going to be taking game number 5. It is going to be the Battlefield of Eternity. And Grubby, would you like to introduce the team on the left?
Diamond Skin 3-1 leading right now. The Pro Division dropout, but they are looking to keep their spot. Maybe it's going to be Sport Billy on Anubarak, Nande on Greymane, Wolf Joe on Uther, and we've got Greymane being played here by Nande and Arthas by Eternal.
Whereas on the right-hand side, it is currently Polska Pamieta with Shrechu playing that Johanna Rajuf. Bringing out the Ariel this time. No cleanse available for him. Gluehammer on that Tassadar. Polish Guru bringing out the Vala. And finally, Gugas shall be showing us the Samuro. We hope it will be impressive.
Impressive, am I not?
Impressive, am I not? Polish Guru does force back the beginning tower attempt with 2 heroes here. It's a little bit too scary. They just drop some damage and leave.
Yeah, there's always the chance that your opponent guesses wrong and has very few defenders on that particular lane. And you have a chance to cheese a tower, but this time the defense was there, so the attack is stopped.
Speaking of attacking, Shechel is in serious trouble with getting body blocked
Wow.
and takes a slide across the floor, as that is first blood, and killing Johanna at any point isn't easy. She did go for reinforce, by the way, so very much a counter to the Greymane here, but in this case was taken out.
Very impressive there. The body blocks, the stuns, the patience. She turned on Iron Skin early, perhaps slightly too early, but either way the stuns were hitting at a very constant pace, so she tried to get away, unable to do so. Diamond Skin first blood. Rotating up again, now trying to get Tassadar, or at the very least procking his dimensional shift.
Oh, Gluehammer barely gets out there. That was very close.
Did he already use dimensional shift, or
don't
is he so greedy at saving it? I mean, now it's up already. It didn't look quite at the time. There we go. Will save himself. Nicely done.
Indeed. Talents-wise, by the way, it is Way of the Blade for Samuro. Tass once again with an auto-attack style, at least for the start. Johanna attempted gank again, this time much safer. Shechel able to back out.
Polska Pamieta will be in a position to pressure the Immortal. Pretty good position for them. Diamond Skin will take a defensive location. Samuro now coming down as well. Gugus looking to add his clout to the fight here. Arthas going to be doing damage. So it's a 5 versus 4 here for Polska, but they're pushing into an Immortal. It's always a bit hazardous.
Yeah, the idea here is that the ideal situation would be for Polska to actually rotate up to the top Immortal. Right now, they're actually in an aggressive position.
Yeah.
They want to rotate up to the top Immortal and have Samuro damage this one, but it's pre-Illusion Master, so it's not as safe. Unfortunately, those Illusions decide that it's not worth fighting here and decide to retreat.
But
Finally, they turn around. Yeah.
So the Illusions, they kind of have a funny AI where they try to do the same thing as Samuro. If you don't give any commands, they'll just go to the lane. But because he attacked it, they turned around, funnily enough. They're uncontrollable, but they turned around and started attacking. Now, Polska actually able to win the trade as Diamond Skin took a defensive position. Everyone is coming out.
Yeah, everyone's there. Greymane finally turns around and goes back for the kill. The very nice defense from Diamond Skin here will almost certainly net them the Immortal unless we see a really aggressive play out of Polska, which may be happening at the moment. Samuro's not here right now. Good start onto Johanna. Iron Skin, not enough. Sorry, that was a Tash Shield, not Iron Skin. But Shechel still tacking forwards. The Samuro is wrecking Chris, but he's trading for everything he's worth. Not enough. But while that's happening, Greymane picks up the Immortal.
Okay, so double kill. Polska actually did really well at waiting long enough. No one wants globes, apparently. Waiting long enough to make their move after most of the stuns were used. They get the double kill, bit more damage, still end up losing the Immortal though. Greymane, Nande, all the while during that was working on it. Now, it will be easy to de-push. They have exactly the type of team that can take care of Immortals really easily. Vala with Monster Hunter. So it will just about get a tower and that's it.
Probably. They're actually doing some good damage in the bot lane though, which is where they are getting it the value. Guga's clone gets deleted. Poor Billy, aggressive play there, thinking someone was a little bit further forward. Instead takes a, well, I'd like to say a lot of damage from a Tassadar laser, but it's a Tassadar laser, so unfortunately I can't. So
more than nothing.
More than nothing. A non-zero amount of damage was done. It almost out-damaged the healing from a healing globe.
I always hate taking non-zero amount of damage in the game or in real life.
Exactly. I really, if I had the choice, I would always take a 0 amount of damage at any scenario.
Same.
We see Nanda pull it back, Chris in a little bit of trouble. We do see that Samura has gone for Mirage, taking the spell armor for himself and his illusions, making it a little bit harder for Gul'dan just to blow him up and reveal which one's real straight away.
Makes a lot of sense. Baylor camp now, the Khazras pressuring bot. They don't do a lot of damage. Their main feature is that they have range. Gul'dan will deal with them very easily.
Yep, he's actually just going to drain them for now, but he's queuing him in. It's another corruption build, like it's been 5 for 5 now on Gul'dan's and 5 for 5 on corruption builds. Not at all go for that Fell Flame. Shekel, once again, getting focused in a little bit of trouble, but able to condemn his way through and actually put everyone in danger. As Polish Guru dropping good damage output, but not enough.
And Ariel will be able to give everyone a full heal.
Which is always nice. Samuro clearing up. Samura at level 4, level 7 has gone for the Burning Blade, making it much easier for him to clear out these minion waves.
65% bonus damage on his critical strike, as well as splash damage.
Yep.
On crit.
Which is great for clearing minion waves because everything is grouped up, and that is the idea. Allows him to have a lot more map control once he has Illusion Master as well. Basically allows him to hold both lanes and really just be everywhere at once. As the Immortals spawn once again.
Not the best position again for Polska Pamieta because they have Samuro on the... Well, they have him on the attack. I guess it's okay.
Careful, Gugus. Ooh, well duked.
Impressive.
Impressive. As he's able to play around and get out of there. That was a very rough scenario that he was able to get out of there.
No immortal damage as of
round
yet.
2. Clones. They've worked it out, but they can't catch him. The extra speed from the invisibility. He's too quick. You fought well.
I fought better.
As Shekel drops the blind, continuing to poke in.
I'm going to look up some more Samuro quotes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool, it's cool. But
8.5 versus 8.2 in level here. 10 still far away, so soaking is good, but it won't win you the immortal. Not yet.
Gugus starting to use those clones a little bit aggressively. One of them having an intense 1v1 with a beetle. The clone does eventually win.
49 damage so far by Polska Pamieta.
Going to take him a little bit to get there. Shekel actually potentially a bit too far forward. Pop Iron Skin a little bit early perhaps. Condemn is used. Dodges the knock-up though. Nice route. Arthur's wishing he'd taken the quest talent at level 1, but he went for Rhyme.
Yeah. Completing quests when you don't have them feels really bad.
The worst one is no, I've got it, never mind. As we do see Tazadar moving in. Finally, they begin to tickle the Immortal. Guga's getting that damage, and this time there's no split pushing Greymane taking their Immortals, so they are in a lovely position, and there's the halftime shot. Nice
job by Polska Pamieta here, but Diamond Skin happily accepts this. They're looking at level 10 very soon. They'll be able to defend their Immortal with it. Just defend for a while, and Trickle XP will give you enough. Now the good thing as well is Gul'dan completed his quest.
Oh, that route, the boss done, and down goes the Samuro and the Ariel Gluehammer. Down 2, and there's only one left. Shekel's going to come in for a last-ditch attempt at a save with a blind. Blind is dropped, doesn't help. Down goes Valor and Diamond Skin. 4 kills, level 10, Immortal. It's just all sort of gone well in the last couple of seconds. They don't even go for the Immortal. They're looking to try and kill Johanna here. Iron Skin expires, dodges the root, the slows their stun 1, stun 2, and dead.
And Echoed Corruption is a thing. So Johanna took 3 full blows from that ability. And the thing is, Diamond Skin will be able to defend the Immortal now. They didn't go with Syndragoza. He hadn't picked throughout that entire massacre. So I thought maybe they will just try to end the game with level 11 versus 9 and the Immortal. But it's going to be Army of the Dead. Very safe pick here. Nice moves with Polish Guru. Good dodge.
Yeah, Gugus though starting to also rotate down, putting some pressure on. These to dodge the stuns. Taking a lot of damage though. Drops the clones, immediately rotates out. Not even close level 10. Horrify used. Not going to get much, but they instead able to find Rajuf and drop some good damage onto him. The poke damage is so good. Rajuf's in so much trouble when they killed the noob. Just great damage from range.
9 versus 11 fight.
They're still going. They want more. Wolf Joe getting slowed by Tass. Valor going off. And Polish Guru picks up 2 kills for the team. They nearly died to poison, but that range damage just holding the line that time. Just exactly what a team fight should be. Just going forward and attacking. And they were able to pick up 2 kills.
Yeah. when all hope seemed just about lost, Polska Pamieta with the forward momentum 9 versus 11 against things like Horrify, Diamond Shield, Cocoon, Divine Shield. They were able to just push forward and win the Immortal and push out Diamond Skin. What a comeback here in the middle of the game. Still down in level, but pushing with a weakened Immortal to be sure, but it's theirs, it's red. And what a wonderful color that is right now for Polska Pamieta. Illusion Master has been taken, so Samuro is here and he's not. That's an option for him to teleport towards.
Yeah, there's actually a clone that is here, swaps to the real one, just in case he needs to turn around and take a fight. Infernal, Rouge Doctor are real, they're in a little bit of trouble, but they're fine for the moment. Polish Guru trying to put the pressure on, but he's getting zoned. This Infernal doing such a good job at just keeping the pressure onto whoever needs it, and as such, they're able to kill the Valor.
Yeah, just a bit too far away for Crystal Aegis.
There is Crystal Aegis. Horrified time not very well, and Shekel is able to come out of this
Samuro.
kill off nuts there. Shekel still alive here through all of this damage. He finally goes down, but Samuro was also cleaning up. It's a 2 for 2 right now. They're looking for Sport Billy. It's the real Samuro now.
It's me.
They look for Sport Billy. Pick him up as well. And Polska Pamieta actually take the fight.
Very nicely done, chasing with 2 Samuros, meanwhile sending the other around to cut off the retreat path, netting 1 more kill. Very well done here, even though Vala went down fairly early in the fight. Siku's survival will be a tale to tell for eras to come here, for Crusaders to come, as Diamond Skin there loses 3 members, and nearly the entire deficit is made up for here. Polska Pamieta nearly got level 13, grabs the Khazra Impalers, now going for the Fallen Shaman Bruiser camp, and they're back in it.
They're back in it indeed, and like you said, with Valor down, Arya reminded them there's always hope and kept Shekel alive just for enough time for Samuro to do the work, and of course for Johannes to actually kill the Cremain there, which was quite satisfying. As we do see Gugas holding the lane. They find a clone, but he's basically just being a ward.
Never the real one, Baby Rage. As,
oh, why is the real one never AFK in the bush next to me as I rotate past? The Samuro is just able to dodge the Immortal stun area.
Mirrored Steel at 13 for Samuro. Auto attacks with Samuro will give him his mirror image back faster. So instead of 18 seconds, he could have it back much faster than that, adding to the confusion and the damage output.
Hammer draining through Sport Philly there, continuing to put on that pressure as they're slowly poking down. They're wrapping around. They're a little bit isolated from their base here. There's no fort here, remember, from the direction they're coming. They are just trying to get this poke damage, and there we go. We're seeing Diamond Skin being forced to retreat. They don't want to fight this anymore. They're going to try and race.
Yeah, they do a good amount of damage in that decision, nearly winning that halftime show. Polska will have a small lead though. Very defensive position here. And the Bruiser cap is pushing top. Double Samuro goes top, 1 goes bottom. And he has the option which one he wants to be going for with his real hero. He's top. Once again, spreading illusions, sending some to harass here. Look at that. This illusion just at the verge of our vision. Could pressure the Immortal. In the meantime, he's pushing down a fort. Samuro now a veritable global hero. Here he is, rejoining the fight, while 2 images are still pushing the lane.
He immediately comes in from behind. They're going to focus more, but the Horrify is huge, though. Trying to turn this around, but everyone's still alive. Shekel holding the line here as they turn onto Wolf Joe and pick him up. And once again, that's Uther. So much healing output is going to come from this. A good Aegis keeping Shekel alive. The Polish Guru, how did he get back here?
Why did he get back there?
1, gets the dash shield, gets 2. He's looking for Small Billy, and he will go down as well. How did he get there?
Yeah.
But he got the kill. And beautiful play here by Polish Guru.
Tassadar stutter step. Polska win the Immortal. Somehow Vala has Illusion Master as well. Teleported to the back to kill Chris Gul'dan from behind there as Samuro chased from the front. Wonderful play here by Polska Pamieta.
What a flank. Polska gonna be pushing in the top lane. It's a guaranteed fort because it's so weak from the camp they said earlier and from this constant Samuro push potential. Beautiful play. Down goes the fort and the Immortal just over a half shield.
1.5 health bar there. Indeed, like you said, a little over half a shield. Now marching on the keep wall. as long as that shield is intact, that gray bar that you see, Immortal has a ranged attack, which makes it much harder to take down. Take away the shields and it will take up melee attack position, making it a lot easier. And this is what Diamondskin is looking to achieve. Now, this keep, I think you have to write it off. I think the keep is down and you defend at the core.
High on health.
Important not to lose any members, but they make the defense here. They move in, do the cocoon, divine shield on the Nubarak.
The Horrify was good. The Aegis, once again, still keeping Shiko alive, but they're finally able to finish him off. Rejuve is so low, not able to stay alive. But guess what? Polish Guru is at full health, full damage, and shredding through everything in his way. With 4 members dead, Grubby, Polska Pamieta moved to the core, and they're looking to make this a 3-2.
Thatcher, Samuro's survival there was insane. He did so much juking there. Look at this dodges. Wonderful. Polska Pamieta win the 5th map here and will make it a 3 versus 2. Utilizing another very cool pick here in Samuro and some very aggressive play. And as a key, it stands out. They won a level 9 versus 11 fight.
They did exactly what happened in their first game against Diamondskin by taking a fight with lower talents and being able to execute it. Beautiful play, beautiful control of the map. They didn't just do the standard 4-man defense that Samuro push. They were just keeping mobile, making sure that Samuro was always available and always ready for a fight, keeping Valor so separate that it was very hard to isolate her unless they were on a defensive position. Instead, they played aggressive positions and made it try to force Diamondskin to split.
And speaking of aggressive positions, we'll be taking a look at a replay here where we can see how Polish Guru actually went to the back line. It was initially a defensive maneuver here. He vaults away from Arthas, from Nubarak. Is starting to pressure the front line here. As most of the focus here is on Gugus. And now she sees a chance. With the Warriors escaping here, she kills Uther and then says, do I walk through Arthas? Or do I just go straight for Gul'dan? And it was a really good choice.
The immediate turn, but so fast and easy. Nada kill, just moved up to get a range of Tassadar. Just beautiful execution because everyone turned their attention to Valor. Suddenly there was an entire team of Polska Pamieta that was able to take back control of that fight. It's such a weird thing to say. Yeah, apparently just going all in with my assassin into the with my ranged assassin, the most vulnerable character, into the backline of the enemies was the right call.
Against Greymane.
Greymane, Arthas, and Noob. What a beautiful play, and that brings the score to 3-2. There's still hope for you Polska Pamieta fans, as right now, Diamondskin still only 1 game away, but Polska, they only need 2. It's not an unwinnable situation. If you go to someone and say, hey, you only have to win 2 games, they'd be like, oh, that's not so bad.
Yeah, I win 2 games all the time.
Yeah,
but if you're like, you have to win 3 games, it's like, oh, 3 games?
3 in a row? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that's difficult.
It's doable. It's absolutely doable.
Yeah. So let's see what that map is going to be. The map pool is dwindling. We still have Sky Temple, I believe.
Yep, we have Sky Temple and Infernal are the 2 maps left. Reminded that if we go to 7 games, we have to play all these maps. So no matter what, if Polska win the next match, we're seeing both of these maps. But it's a question of who gets to pick the map and whether they... Either way, it's going to be a big map. It's still both very Abathur-friendly maps. So we're probably going to see that bad down again. So there's a lot of options available for them, but the maps are starting to whittle it down. It's very unlikely we're going to see a Cho'Gall again. Like you said, it's okay on Infernal.
But it's really bad on Sky Temple, I think.
Really bad.
Yeah, you can't do it on Sky Temple because you put Cho'Gall on the temple, now you only have 3 members to round the map instead of 4. 1 man can do the job, don't need a 2-headed ogre. And on Infernal Shrines, I guess it could work if you go Cho'Gall, Ariel, Vikings.
Oh, just increase the bodies?
Yeah, and then 1 more, just so you have more bodies again.
Samuro.
Or Samuro, yeah.
Instead of the Vikings.
Wow, Samuro, Cho'Gall, Ariel, Lunara. That sounds cool.
Who likes melee? Because we do. But yeah, that's the kind of potential we could see here. Depending on what the map is going to be. We're currently waiting for a lobby to get set up. But either way, what a series coming in from these 2 teams.
Yeah, this was, I mean, again, the early game by Diamondskin was very good. In every series game so far, except the first one, they've pretty much done better in the early game. But then Polska Pamieta they do really well in the follow-up fights. Like some fights that it looks like they have no business of winning, going down one member early on, but then recognizing due to the cooldowns that were used, the heroics that were used, that they can turn it around. This is the hidden power here of Polska. Like, it doesn't look like they should want to continue, but they do, and they win it.
That's this entire series. Not just because a team's winning the early game, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's over or that they're not going to win. That they're going to win the late game. We've seen Diamond Skin come back. We've seen Polska come back. And right now, we're reaching the end game. No matter what, it is. Tiredness is a potential factor for these two teams right now. We are just waiting for a lobby to be prepared, and we will be getting it as soon as possible. By the way, ladies and gentlemen. But between these two teams, longer games and longer match days is actually an open division team advantage. We've spoken about this last Crucible. When you play in the open division, the tournaments last from about 6 p.m. to potentially midnight, which is almost consistent games, and that's for 2 days. So longer game days is a little bit more in favor, whereas the open division, the pro division teams, they have a best of 5 a day, and then the next day
they've gotten lazy and fat.
They've gotten complacent, scrubby. No, they're obviously still experienced with it, but
it's
open
true.
division is a little bit more used to it.
One best of 5, you schedule it in 2.5 hours, and open division, there's waiting times because sometimes you have to wait for the other part of the bracket to catch up. So all these things that can burn up nervous energy where you're waiting for a match to become available, it's going to be a little bit more recently experienced by Polska Pamieta. That's true.
Yeah, indeed. And it looks like we will very